Welcome to Uping Stock Trend Prediction channel. So in this video, I'll talk about the prediction and analysis of Tesla stock price, target high and target low for the next week. So today is October 29th. So next week is the last day of October and also the first week of November. So let's go to Tesla charts. So in the last video 104, I uploaded to YouTube on October 15th. That's basically the prediction for the week when Tesla released the financial report. So in that video 104, I mentioned if the Tesla financial report is good, and then they will the stock price will increase up to $228. And also at the end of that video 104, and I also mentioned if the stock price increase to $228, and then it will still go down. So the $228 is basically the target maximum price or target high I predicted in video 104. That's basically predicted before the Tesla stock financial report was released. So in the week following video 104, that's basically 2 weeks ago, because I didn't have time to make a video last weekend. And so today is October 29th, so this is the last Friday, and this 5 days is basically the last week. And this 5 days, that's a Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, and Tuesday and Monday. So these 5 days are basically the predicted price for the, predicted in video 104, and the Tesla released the financial report on Wednesday after market, exactly after 4 p.m. And you see this on Tuesday, there's a weekly high. This price is exactly around $229.8. So it's just less than $2 different from what I mentioned, $228 for weekly high. And even for this Wednesday, and you see this Wednesday it opened here, and the closing price is here. It's still closing price at 4 p.m. It's still below this yellow trend line, but after 4 p.m., just after a couple of minutes, and then after market data, the price shooted up to this price. Basically, that's the high. For the next day, you see these trend lines. This price are already generated after this 4 p.m.'s price was completed. So basically, after this Wednesday's price was completed, the next day's prediction was already finalized and generated. So actual Tesla price after market was shooted up very rapidly, up to $228. That's this price, $228. That's exactly the same as what I predicted in video 104, and after it exactly reaches about $228, and then it suddenly decreased very rapidly within a blink of eyes at the time, and just decreased suddenly, decreased by $22, directly decreased to $206. So it's very rapidly, it happened very rapidly. You see $206 is exactly around this point, around this trend line. So it's basically after market is increased to this point, and it's also this point is the same as what I predicted in video 104. $228. That's also the same target maximum, the target high for the next day, and it decreased to $206. Exactly touches the bottom trend line. So it's basically have such a big decrease within a couple of a few seconds, and then the next day is have a little bit lower price around this point, around this $200. So this $202 is also very close to what I mentioned in the video 104, but in around this range. So I may predicted it a little bit lower than this point. So you see, that's the prediction about 2 weeks ago. So many people will be interested in what will happen for the next week after it dropped to such a low price, and then it have a temporary rebound. Basically, the stock price increase basically in the last week. So many people will be interested if it will continuously increase to have a more rebound, or it will still have more fluctuation and the stock price will drop. So right now, this is a Tesla weekly chart, and this is a Tesla daily chart. If you choose a weekly chart, so that means each vertical bar is the actual fluctuation of a price in 1 week, in each week. So if you choose a daily chart, so that means each vertical bar is the real stock price in each day. So this kind of trend lines for different colors. So these are predicted by the prediction model that's generated the target high or target low, or the target resistance and the target support for different time frames. So it depends on which time frame you choose. So example, that's target high and target low for the next day, or for the early next week, because this is just completed 1 week. So this is the target high or target low at different levels for the next week. So based on this kind of charts, and the weekly chart and the daily chart is still have some kind of a more increasing trend and increasing momentum. So the next week or early next week, it will still have some kind of a higher price than the closing price of last Friday. So early next week, it may have this kind of more increasing momentum and increasing trend. But you see, the last Friday, the closing price is still a little bit below this yellow trend line. So if you zoom it a little bit more, so it touches this yellow trend line and dropped a little bit, and it's the closing price. This is the right tick is the closing price, the left tick is the opening price. So the closing price is still very close to the high of that day, last Friday, but it's still a little bit below this yellow trend line. So it may have a little bit more probability that it may first go down or open around this low price, or then it may still have a probability to open high, but this open high probability may be a little bit lower than this opening low, or it totally will depend on if it will first increase or first decrease. So the early next week, the fluctuation range at least cover this range. So between $223.9 and $233. So, and if this trend lines can hold the price, it may still have a tendency to drop down to this $219. So the typical fluctuation range for early next week, that's between $219 and $233. So next week is consisted of the last day of October and also the first week of November. So the whole week, the fluctuation range is between this range, the whole range of the fluctuation range for the next week is between $209 and $238. So depends on if it still have a very good strong increasing momentum. If it has a very good increasing momentum and then even break this yellow trend line, it may have still have a probability to may increase to this $243, but that probability is relatively low. So $238 could be the weekly high for the next week, with a high probability. And if you check the monthly chart, and you see monthly chart, it dropped down to this bottom trend line and currently have the current monthly low, and then it increased, and right now it finally increased up to this trend line, So if it increased from the bottom to the top, then this blue trend line could still be a resistance. And even though right now it's not exactly breakthrough, this is just barely touches this trend lines and a little bit above this trend line. So around this price range, there could be still a struggling between the increasing momentum and the decreasing momentum. So that means around this price range, it could still have a probability that it may still drop down and have some kind of additional drop, or it may still increase. So it totally depends on how it goes, and especially the next day. The next day is only 1 day left in October, and then this is the current predicted a monthly high or monthly low for this monthly chart, and this kind of predicted monthly high or monthly low, this price will be finalized after this month is totally completed. So that means that this price may have a little bit of change or have some kind of a change. It depends on how the stock price perform in the last day in this month, to see if this blue trend line can still be strong enough to be a support, and so that means it may have a better rebound if this could be a support. But if the decreasing momentum is stronger, and then it could be still a resistance. So currently the next month, the monthly high is around $236. So around $236. So early next week, so it is not expected to have a very good rebound. It is not expected to have a very good rebound, but it will temporarily have some kind of increase, but it may still have some kind of a strong resistance, because many people are still a little bit afraid of the stock price, and some people are still maybe short the Tesla. So but this kind of a price for the next month will be finalized after next Monday. So currently it's just based on the current prediction, and so we still need to be cautious about the weekly high. If it increases to around $238, so you need to be cautious about a very high probability to have additional drop for the next week. So if you are interested in this kind of analysis and prediction, you are welcome to subscribe Uping Stock Trend Prediction channel or watch more video in YouTube.